Hi and welcome to this week's episode of Forge, which is focused on revenue, growth and enterprise for business owners. And it's bite-sized learnings from myself, from my years as a managing director. And I'm doing these because I hope they help you move your business forward. And this week I was in a meeting with a client and I had to be brutally honest with them. And I said to them, if you don't have an assistant, then you are one. And that isn't a vanity thing, it is definitely a business thing. And I'll explain why. There are tasks in your business that can be done by other people, other than you. And these tasks, for example, are doing the bookkeeping, doing the payroll, balance the invoicing, doing the debt ledger. These are jobs that more and more business owners are doing themselves because they're trying to be cost effective. But they are committing self-sabotage when they do this. And here's why. Your job as the owner of a business is to drive revenue. And I don't mean drive your wages. You drive profits into your business, and your profits need to be higher than your salary. Or let's be honest, you've got an overdrawn director's loan, and that's not a good thing. So your job is to drive profits. But if you take your profits for the year and divide by 52 and divide by 40, that will give you the hourly rate that you are worth. That may not be what you're getting paid, but it's what you're worth to the business. And I have run this exercise tens of times with business owners. When we do this exercise, it gives them a figure. So we take the profit they're trying to drive, divided by 52, divided by 40, and it gives them a figure. And that's the hourly rate that they are worth to the business. It's usually quite a high figure. And it's eye-opening when I ask them the next question. If that's your hourly rate, why are you then doing the bookkeeping? Because if you get an assistant, and even if it's a virtual assistant, it's not someone who's necessarily in your office, you may not have even ever met this person in person, but you can hire some great virtual assistants nowadays. If you know your hourly rate, I have never once run that exercise and it turns out that the VA is charging more than what the person is meant to generate. Never. Sometimes the person's responsibility to generate a level of income, which let's say is figure X in the business, is actually 10 times higher than what a VA would be charging. So if a VA is charging £15 an hour, for instance, I've had some exercises where the person I'm working with, their hourly worth to the business was £170, £180 an hour. But they are doing a job that someone will do for £15. And it's eye-opening because they were doing jobs for 6, 7, 8 hours a week. Knowing their worth to the business is £180 an hour. So they are self-sacrificing profits. Because if they took those 6, 7, 8 hours a week and driven more sales in their business, which would have generated £180 an hour times 6, 7 or 8 hours, and then we look at what we would have paid a VA over here to do 6, 7 or 8 hours work, it's astronomical difference. But they don't realise that and they think they're saving money. So my advice to anybody who is trying to drive a business forward is look at the tasks you can outsource. Look at what you can delegate. Chasing invoices, raising invoices, doing sage balancing, doing payroll, issuing payments to HMRC. All those tasks you can outsource. Get a VA, take those off your desk, get back 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a week and use that time, ring fence it, use that time to drive more sales in your business, which drops more profits in your business, which way outstrips the cost of the VA and therefore boosts your profit tremendously. That's my advice when I say if you don't have an assistant, you are one. I hope that's helped. Get yourself some help, get yourself a VA, get yourself an assistant to take that legwork away from you. Now, around this broadcast, there'll be links. You can click, you can talk to us. You can even book a 30-minute free call with me or my team on some of the platforms that we broadcast this on. But I hope that's helped from the learnings of a MD who's been in the game for 30 years. If you've not got an assistant, then you are one. I'll see you next week.